How you feel?
Excellent.
Good.
Yeah.
I feel with my hands.
Medium.
Expanded. My heart, maybe.
Yeah, it's like I feel like just coming on with it. And I just come on with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right before I came in here, I was reading one of my favorite books, which is it's called The Holy Spirit's Interpretation of the New Testament. It's called NTI. And it's channeled by a friend of mine named Regina Dawn Akers. And so I love, it's one of those books that's so great for just opening up, just asking a question and then opening it up and seeing what the message is.
Right.
So I did that for us. And I want to share it with you right quick and then go into the course, all right?
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, check this out, y'all. Now, this is a message that I just pulled. I said, give me a message for the class. Okay, it says, now is a very important time. For now, and when I read this, I had to read it about 2 or 3 times, it freaked me out. It said, now is the only time that you can take any action that will make any difference.
Oh.
What a great way to put that. Now is the only time that you can take any action that will make any difference. I love that definition of the now. So when I say I want something now, I'm saying I want something in the only time that I can take any action that will make any difference. Now is the only time I can take any action that will make any difference. Now is the only time I can take any action that makes any difference. Isn't that a great definition of now? I'm ready to have you now. I'm ready to have you in the only time I can take any action that's going to make any real difference to you, baby. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? I want you in the only time that I can take any action that's going to make any difference, baby. I want it now. Let's do it in the only time we can do it that's going to make any difference. When I read that, it immediately brought me into the present moment. This is a message for us. It says, now is a very important time. For now is the only time that you can take any action that will make any difference. In spite of your ego's tendency to plan. Even your ego understands the truth of the moment now. Says approach the current moment with humility. Okay, now this is deep. Now watch what Spirit is saying humility is. Says humility is approaching this current moment as if you do not know what this current moment is for. So if I'm going to be humble right now, and we're going to be humble, it's telling us approach this moment right here as if you don't even know what this moment is for. Now, wouldn't that be a trip? We would all sit up here going, I do not know what this moment is for. I don't know what this current moment is for. I do know that the current moment is the only time that I can take an action that's going to make any real difference. But I also know that I don't know what this current moment is for. I can make a difference in this moment, but I still don't know what this moment is for. Isn't that interesting? To just give yourself the peace of just a minute relaxing with, I don't know what this moment is for. Let go of your agenda for one moment. Approaching this moment with this attitude that you don't know what this moment is for is really only a demonstration of honesty. Because you can't know what is coming or what you should do or where you should go. So when you say you don't really know what this moment is for, you just merely being honest. You don't know what this moment is for. You might know what you've made up this moment to be for you. But that's not the same as saying you know what this moment is for. You know, I know what I want you to do in this moment. And the reason why I have such a hard time doing it is because it's not God's desire. And any desire I have that's not God's desire, I have to struggle with. So when I'm struggling, that's when I'm not listening. That's all. Oh, I'm struggling. I'm not listening to the truth. I'm not listening to my guidance right now. How do I know that? Because I'm afraid. I'm going crazy. I don't know what's going on. So it says, by approaching this moment in honesty and humility, you open up to hear my guidance within this current moment. So that one paragraph covered what it would take for you to hear your inner guidance. Now, did anybody need to hear that one more time?
Yes, please.
Okay, this is what it would take for you to hear your inner guidance. The first thing you do is you recognize that right now is an important time. This is an important time in your life. This is a really important time in your life. The next thing to remember is that this is the only time you can take any action that's going to make any difference. Whatever you want, any kind of difference you want in your life right now, this is the only moment that you can do it in. This is the only moment that you can take any action that will make any real difference is now. That's the next step to hearing your inner guidance. Then it says, if you want to hear God's voice, stop acting like you know what this moment is for. That's the next step. Then it says, because if you would admit you don't really know what's going on, that'll be the first time you've been honest in your whole life. That's what the book turned around and told me. Because you can't know what's coming, you can't know what you should do, and you can't know where you should go. So that's approaching this moment in honesty and humility, and now you can open up to hear my guidance coming from within. We just got a step-by-step process of how you hear your guidance. Can I go a little bit further?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to go anyway. But I like to pretend I'm polite.
Okay.
When you approach me, imagine this is your own inner guidance talking to you. It says, when you approach me within the current moment and share your prayers, okay, now you're approaching your higher self, right? You got to the point you don't know what this moment is for. You know this is the only moment you can take any action that's going to make any difference in your life right now, and you have accepted that this time is important to you right now. Then it says, and the next thing you do is you share your prayers. So how do you share your prayers? We are told, do not pray about the problems you perceive within the world. Do not pray about the world's problems. Don't pray about, who did that shaking anybody up? Well, they're kind of spooky to hear. Don't pray about the world's problems.
That's good.
He says, don't pray about the problems you perceive within the world, expecting me to provide answers to you. I love you. So God said, don't pray about the problems you perceive within the world, expecting me to provide answers for you. I love that. So instead of always praying about your drama, your story, he said, always expecting me to provide answers to the stupid stuff you do. This is Earl's paraphrase version of y'all don't mind to paraphrase a little bit.
That's perfect.
Okay. Bring it home. And it says, instead of expecting me to answer the problems that you perceive, instead think about your reactions to the problems you have perceived.
Wow.
Think about, instead of expecting God to give you the answer to what you're going through, it says, this book is saying, well, why don't you just think about how you're reacting to the problems that you're going through? Think about how you're reacting. Think about how you're reacting. Think about how you are reacting right now. Think about how you are reacting to the problems that you see. He says, in other words, what thoughts did you notice in your mind? What judgments are you making? So what are your reactions to the problems that you think you see? You know, what thoughts are you noticing about the problems that you think you see? What are the judgments you're making about your problems? It says, why don't you just tune into your reactions to it instead of expecting me to provide an answer for something you think you're going through? I went, whoa! No, cool it, Jesus. Think of prayer as an opportunity to empty your mind of guilt, fear, distractions, resistance, and judgment by bringing them to me. So when you bring every fear, every guilt, every distraction, and every resistance to your own inner self, your own higher self, God within you, he says, every time you pray, you're saying, you know what, this is an opportunity for me to empty myself of my fear right now. I think I'm going to go pray. I'm going to go take advantage of an opportunity to free myself of this problem. What are you going to do, Earl? I'm going to go pray. That means I'm going to take this opportunity to free myself of this. I'm going to take this opportunity to free myself. So when you're ready to free yourself of something, you say you're going to go pray. And this book just told us that what you're going to do is give yourself the opportunity to free yourself of the guilt and the fear and the distractions and the resistance and the judgments that you have. I'm going to pray. I'm going to take advantage of an opportunity to rid myself of the thing that's upsetting me. I'm ready to go pray.
That's good.
Isn't that good?
Mm-hmm.
Then it goes on to say, think of prayer as an opportunity to renew your willingness. Think of prayer as an opportunity to renew your willingness. Think of prayer as an opportunity to revitalize your faith. Wow. So when I say I'm going to pray, I'm going, hey, I'll check y'all out later. I'm going to go revitalize my faith right now. I'm getting ready to go pray. I'm getting ready to go revitalize my faith. Yeah. It's time for me to revitalize my faith. Lord knows it's time for me to revitalize my faith.
Yes.
You with me on this?
Yeah.
See, that gives a whole new meaning to prayer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's time for me to go revitalize my faith. Would you like to revitalize your faith with me? That's called praying together. We're revitalizing our faith together. That's the purpose of a relationship, is to revitalize your faith.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're in one for. Not to make you want to kill yourself.
It just seems that way.
Besides, you'll never successfully kill yourself. Just so I save you the bother.
What page are you on, Earl?
I'm in a book called The Holy Spirit's Interpretation of the New Testament. I was asking Spirit to give me a message for the class before I went into the course part of it, because the course part of it is going to be Scunyon. That's right. I haven't done a Scunyon class. I'm bringing y'all to a Scunyon class.
Scunyon, bring it on.
You always talking about bring it on. So I'll say it again. I'm getting ready to go pray. I'm getting ready to take an opportunity to empty my mind of this problem. Isn't that great? I'm going to take this opportunity to empty my mind of guilt, fear, distractions, resistance, and judgment. I'm going to pray with you. I'm going to take this opportunity to renew my willingness and revitalize my faith. Mm-hmm. I want you to, let's renew our willingness together, and let's revitalize our faith together. And let's take this opportunity to free our minds of guilt and fear and resistance and distractions and judgment. Now that's a worthwhile purpose to be in a room full of people for.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because I've used relationships to distract me.
So have I.
Yeah, I want to use relationships now to revitalize my faith. Hey, baby, can you revitalize my faith? Thank you. All right. You all are revitalizing my faith in cool people. I had lost faith in cool people. And all of a sudden, I look in this room and I just see cool people.
You're revitalizing my faith in prayer. I really like that.
Yeah.
You know, because that word, they all pray for me. And I always go,
Yeah.
I remember that.
So now you know what time it is. I knew it was with one time Max said, they in the house. Black Bat came to turn it out. This one started booty shake. I wanna see it all, no fingers. Kid money's on the beach free. So open up and let me take a piece. Been on over, now touch your towel. Grab the pose, let me see that foot. So yeah, like that. Now shake that ass with a splash.
Now let's get serious.
Wasn't that holy?
Yeah.
I could just feel it. I could feel the spirit. I did. Showing the hell beats a lot. Beats swing low. Swing Okay. It was a judgment test.
Oh,
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like if you were judging what words was okay to use and what judging what words you like and what words you don't like. And, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's another opportunity to rid your mind of judgment. Is what I just gave you. All right. More cool things will come into your life if you don't block it with judgment.
All right.
Right.
Judgment is like a roadblock across your
It's
peace. Judgment is like a roadblock across your peace. You're on your road of peace and you look up and you see a roadblock. You go, oh, that's my judgment. You know.
That's cool.
Then it goes on to say,
Write that down.
think of prayer as an opportunity to renew your willingness and revitalize your faith. Then, when this has been done, you renewed your willingness, you revitalized your faith. When this has been done and without specific expectations, ask me what you are to do only after you renew your willingness and revitalize your faith, empty your mind of guilt and fear and resistance by bringing your judgments to me. So it's like the higher self is saying, you're going to have to give it to me before you can hear me.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, that's good.
Give it to me. I feed off of guilt, fear, resistance, and judgment. Send me your best shot. That's what it's telling us. You know, giving it up is a sign you want to listen to me. Giving it to me is the sign you want it to be handled. You don't want it to be handled as long as you want to do it by yourself. You want to make sure it's never solved when you want to do it by yourself. That's how you can tell when you've decided to keep the problem. You'll be dealing with it as if it's you alone that's dealing with it. So a problem you're dealing with all by yourself is a problem you want to keep.
Wow.
But you're gonna eat that one?
No, I'd like to do
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat that one up. Handing it over.
You gonna hand that one
I
out?
think it's handed.
Okay. Okay. You will be rewarded with the guidance that is perfect for your healing in that moment. You are going to be rewarded with guidance that's perfect for you right now.
So true.
Okay, that's on the guidance you really want anyway. It's the guidance that's perfect for you right now. It says, but know that my reward is not given because you have prayed as I ask. Instead, because you have prayed as I ask, you have readied yourself to receive the reward. When you do it the way I'm telling you to do it, you're making yourself readied to receive the reward. This is reward preparation 101. We're in reward preparation class.
Need it.
We're a pretty miraculous, motley looking crew. You walk in, you see this group sitting around, you go, yeah, I want to be a part of that. I can tell by the way they look, I want to be a part of that. These freakish looking people that I've never seen. Okay.
At least we're cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. So cool. Can't you feel your faith being revitalized? Are you feeling your renewed willingness? Are you willing to admit you don't know what this moment is for? And as soon as we admitted that we didn't know what it was for, then what it was really for could present itself, which was the happiness and the joy and the connection we're feeling right now.
Right.
That came from us saying we don't know what this moment is for, letting go of our own personal agenda, and then showed up here with each other at the same time. And it's like, whoa, this feels really, really good. Well, that's what this moment is for, happiness. That's what this moment is for. It's for your happiness.
Yeah. It's the only moment we have.
It's a long moment, though. It's the only one we have, but it seems like it stretches. I've had one as long as I can remember. How about y'all? Did y'all continually have opportunities to take an action that will make a difference?
Yes.
Yeah, it's over and over again.
Yes.
It's like a silly putty moment.
It's like a silly
And then when
putty.
you put it
Yeah.
on stuff, it imprints, and you can stretch it, and you can dissolve it, and you can.
Yeah, it's like the moment is so elastic. You know, but know that my reward is not given because you have prayed as I have asked. Instead, because you have prayed as I ask, you have readied yourself to receive the reward that I have been waiting to give you. So the message to us was how to receive the reward that has been made ready for us. That's what we just heard. Now, if you're serious about really having your reward, this is how you do it. The first thing you do is say, this is an important time being here with this wild black man. I'm the most important black man in your life. Right now, in this moment, there is no other black man around. I'm your black man right now. All right, you better take advantage of that while you can.
You can't.
Because I'm usually somebody's black man for only a very short period of time. Don't last too long with me. I'm like cheesecake. I'm like the black cheesecake. There's a little bit of that. That's kind of rich.
That's right.
That's my rapper name. Black cheesecake.
Oh,
That's my Course in Miracles rapper name. Black cheesecake. Black cheesecake. Black cheesecake. Now is a very important time. Now is the only time that you can take any action that will make any difference. In spite of its tendency to plan, even your ego understands the truth of the moment now. The truth of the moment now. Approach the current moment with humility. Approach the current moment with humility as if you do not know what the current moment is for. Act as if you don't know what the current moment is for. Act like you don't know what this moment is for. That's a demonstration of your honesty.
Yeah. What's the name of that book?
It's called The Holy Spirit's Interpretation of the New Testament. You can get it on Amazon. It's like it's an incredible compliment to the Course in Miracles. It's so awesome. It's so awesome. It also is one of those books that claim to be channeled by Jesus, just like the Course does, which you don't have to believe. But I just noticed that whenever the truth is talking to me, it's always something that's really, really loving. That's how I can tell when somebody telling me the truth about how much love is in the conversation.
Right.
If there's no love in the conversation, you lying to me. I don't care what you're saying. I don't care what you're saying.
That's right.
If you're saying it in anger and fear, you lying to me. I don't care what you're saying.
My spiritual guide said, go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated.
Exactly. Exactly. So the way that I get there is by celebrating myself.
Yes.
For sure.
You got to celebrate yourself.
Right.
Then when you celebrate yourself, everybody starts celebrating you. If you wait for somebody to celebrate you, you might not have to celebrate you. So you might want to keep that little plan in mind. That's the one you want to let go of, waiting for everybody else to give it to you first. I'm going to give you some great future love, I'm telling you. You give it to me first, and I'll give it to you. It took me a while to get that. Every time if I'm in a relationship and I become afraid of that person, then that's when I should surrender more deeply in the love that I have for them.
There you
Where
go.
I used to like pull back and go into protection mode and go into contraction. Now my inner guidance tells me, okay, you're feeling afraid, you're feeling upset. Go deeper into the love that you have for this person. Let it come through you in this moment. You know, it's and when you do that, the fear goes away. But it's when you surrender into the love that you say you have for the person, for instance. You saying you love them, okay, then surrender into it. Whereas you just playing around. You don't really love nobody if you can't go more fully into it. That's fear if you can't go more fully into it. See, that's how you can tell when the fear in the relationship has started, because when the fear starts, it's when your willingness stops.
Well, shouldn't you look at the red flags, though, if they're there?
Absolutely. Not only should you look at the red flag, you should eat the red flag.
That's right. Eat that.
Turn around.
And then
one of my favorite words of advice from the Course in Miracles drives the ego crazy. But it was this advice. It says, recognize misery and go the other way. I said, what? Recognize misery and go the other way. That's how you deal with it. Well, that's not dealing with it. You're not committed. Recognize it's crazy and go the other way. Recognize that's not love and go the other way. Recognize that's not peace and go the other way. It's the advice that Spirit gives us. But if you want to go through the misery, you disagree.
I thought you said to love them more. I thought you said
Go more fully into it.
You said if you were having fear in the relationship to love them more. Isn't that what you said, or am I misunderstanding it?
Well, if you think that something I said just contradicted itself, you misunderstood.
Okay, I definitely did.
You're right, so it means you misunderstood.
Okay.
So don't even let that, but you know what? Focus in on what didn't confuse you.
Okay. All right.
And then run with that one. See, that's the trick the Course taught me. It says when you focus on what you don't understand, all it does is emphasize your helplessness. So you thinking it's smart to focus on what you don't understand is really a delaying maneuver, because what you did understand and what was willing to do would lead you into the truth of all of it.
Okay.
Which is where you want to go anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So every time you don't get a truth in one way and it looks like it's confusing to you, forget it. Don't worry about it, because it's going to come at you the next moment from another angle, over and over and over and over, until it's the angle that makes you go, I'm going to do this.
I get it, yeah.
I'm going to actually live this now. I'm going to practice this. It's going to be the way I actually see things. Because right now we analyze it a lot about, is this the right way to see it? One day you're just going to see it that way. That you want to revitalize your faith right now and you really don't know what this current moment is for. You walk in the room and go, you know what, this is the only instant I can take any kind of action that's going to make any real difference. It's like all of a sudden that's going to be your way of actually looking at everything that happens to you, which is really powerful because it's the truth. So, here's a great sentence. Do you realize that if you believe in both the old and the new way of thinking, you will teach and demonstrate both the old way of thinking and the new way of thinking? If you believe in both the old and the new way of thinking, you're going to teach and demonstrate both the old and the new way of thinking. So for a while, when you're trying to change your mind, you're going to act like your old self, and you're going to act like your new self. And you're going to act like your old self, and you're going to act like your new self at first. So give yourself a break. Okay, you're going to go back and forth between the part of you that's loving and the part of you that's not. You're going to go back and forth when you first decide to change your thinking. Rule number 1, I'm going to change the way I think. What's going to happen first? I'm going to be inconsistent in my behavior. I'm going to be inconsistent. So like right now, I know I'm going through transformation. So anyone I would want to be in any kind of close relationship with, I would want to communicate with them that I'm going to be inconsistent in my behavior, because right now I am adopting a new way of thinking. And I'm going to go back and forth between the old and the new way for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to see me demonstrate the highs and the lows. You're going to see me demonstrate the love and the fear. You're going to see me demonstrate I'm innocent one minute, I'm guilty the next. You're going to see me go back and forth in my behavior because I've made the decision to change.
Right.
Okay? Then the next thing it tells us in that section, it's coming from the Course, to have peace, teach peace, to learn it. I took the juice out of it. It said, do you realize that if you believe in both the old and the new way of thinking, you would teach and demonstrate both the old way of thinking and the new way of thinking? In other words, you act like you used to act, and you act in the new way too. Got it? You go back and forth between the two. You will do both, and then you will be giving mixed messages.
Right.
So once you begin to change your consciousness to a new, higher level of consciousness, you're going to be an inconsistent person that gives people mixed messages. You are evolving. Okay? If you are truly evolving, you feel all mixed up. Is anybody here that feels mixed up in any area right now? Okay, there's an evolvement happening around here. Okay. See how the truth would support you in feeling innocent, if that's what you really wanted to feel. Like if we really wanted to feel innocent, everything we hear would make us feel innocent. You wouldn't feel guilty anymore about being inconsistent. You wouldn't feel guilty anymore about giving mixed messages, because you would realize that's a stage that you go through when you say you're going to adapt a new way of thinking. You're going to go back and forth between the two for a while. You know you're sincere about changing your mind, so why are you being so hard on yourself for doing the natural behavioral reactions that occur when you're really growing?
Because other people are reacting to you differently.
And there you go, judgment, right? The roadblock of judgment. Just like we were saying earlier, that's the only thing that stops us is when we throw a judgment in front of it. You know, then it goes on to say, now this is the part that screws us up. It says, now you're going to be giving mixed messages and receiving mixed messages. So that means that if I'm going back and forth and being inconsistent and giving mixed messages, I shouldn't be upset with my friends and people who come into my personal life that are also inconsistent and giving mixed messages also. Because I'm giving mixed messages, they're giving mixed messages back to me, because everything is a reflection of what I'm giving anyway. So now, not only do I have to stop getting upset with myself about giving mixed messages, I have to realize that I must stop getting upset with other people about giving mixed messages, because I'm giving mixed messages myself. I'm giving mixed messages. And it's normal for me to give mixed messages because I'm changing my mind. I'm changing my mind and trying to think a new way, which means I'm going to go back and forth between the two in this time that's very important, when this is the only time in which I can take any kind of action that's going to make any difference. Breathe. Y'all got to help me out. Y'all got to breathe now. Y'all got to breathe with me. It makes too much sense.
Yeah. Right.
It's dangerous when stuff makes sense like this. you know what I'm saying? Like everybody, I don't care what our belief system is, our religious backgrounds. When we're hearing something that makes sense, we can't deny it. And we know this is making sense. That if I'm going back and forth between two ways of thinking, I'm actually going to have mixed messages and I'm going to have inconsistent behavior. But that's normal. Everybody can understand that regardless of their religious background or education.
Yes.
That's how you know it's the truth. All of us can see how that applies to us equally. So I'm forgiving myself for my inconsistency today. This afternoon, I'm gonna take some pressure off myself, because I've been feeling really inconsistent lately. And I just realized I came back from out of town with a determination to be open to a new way of thinking even more than ever before. So my sincerity increased, which correspondingly increased my inconsistent behavior. But I was judging it instead of remembering that it's natural if I'm really changing. Because what I'm doing is preparing myself to receive the rewards that God has always wanted to give to me that I was blocking. Right. Don't forget why y'all going through this. You're going through this so that this is a reward preparation class. I'm going to keep on saying that so we can remember that. We're only in here so that all the good we've ever wanted can show up easily. Is that okay with everybody? Yes. All right. And it's okay if you don't know how to do that. As a matter of fact, that's the requirement for it to happen. It has nothing to do with you. Okay, that's rule one for real. It don't have anything to do with your ideas about what it is, or mine either for that matter. That's deep, isn't it?
Yeah.
When the true happiness is going to come to me? When you stop trying to make it. It's your plan that's hurting you, Purdy.
Right.
It's not anybody else's plan that's disappointing you.
Right.
You think the infinite creator of the universe couldn't give you your little plan? So obviously if it ain't happening, it's because it's your plan. It can't be God's plan and not happen.
Right.
So how do I know the difference between something I'm making up for myself that will only make me miserable and something that I should be receiving?
You follow the sign.
Well, if it's the thing that is not happening, then it's the thing that I'm making up and I'm glad it's not happening.
Yeah.
And if it's something that Spirit is creating, then I'm glad it's happening.
Yeah, that's good.
That's the only difference. It didn't happen, thank God. I wanted them to call me, they didn't, thank you, God. I'm going to take this moment to revitalize my faith and increase my willingness for someone who's even more ready and perfect to be in my life right now. Thank you, universe, for eliminating them, because their butt had me hypnotized. I was remembering the truth until she turned around. And I went completely unconscious. It looked like my eyes was open. Because my eyes looked something like this. I looked at some of y'all like that. This is just between us and the internet. and it says, and this came out the section to have peace, teach peace to learn it. It says, okay, so you are giving mixed messages, you are receiving mixed messages, so you will be inconsistent and other people will be inconsistent.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very important to remember that in a special relationship. Because that's your own personal mirror that you want to keep with you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's all your special
Or some of
relationship.
the time.
It's the yeah, except when they don't act right.
Right.
Okay. Now, but you know, you ever broke up with somebody because they didn't act right? Do you know it's possible to have people show up who are naturally perfect for you
Really?
without you having to alter or change them in any way?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like your wildest fantasy that you can come up with, there's somebody else out there that matches it. Just because the minute you thought of it, you created it. So all you have to do is have enough faith to reel it in. You know, because you can't want something until it's already been created.
Right.
That's your guarantee you'll have it. The desire doesn't even come until it's already fulfilled. That's
Really?
great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then why don't I see it?
Yeah.
Well, because you still think you know what this moment is for. You still think you know what makes you happy. You still believe in fear and guilt and resistance. You haven't started asking. You're not revitalizing the moment with willingness. Any other questions? No, I think I got it. I think I know why my desires aren't happening. Why? Because I'm doing none of the things you do to have them manifest.
Right.
I'm not doing I'm not doing this. Interesting. Interesting. Any questions about anything? Any comments? This is pretty interesting stuff to me.
Well, it just seems like when you really are open to receiving, for me anyway, I mean, it just feels like Spirit just flows through me, you know, when you follow the signs, they're there everywhere. The universe is there for you if you open your eyes.
Thank you. The Course in Miracles says, there is nothing so blinding as perception of form.
Yeah.
I love that. It said, you want to know how you're blind? He said, because you only can see the outside of things. And I was like, what? Like the Course in Miracles says stuff like this, like these mind twisters. Yeah. How do you know you're blind? Because you can only see the outside of everything. Someone with visions can see through everything.
So could you say that again? There's nothing so blinding.
As the perception of form.
Yeah.
Because it blinds us to the fact that we're one.
Right.
You know, it makes us look like we're separate, like we're not connected, like we're not the same being.
Right.
Because we look like we're a bunch of forms sitting up in the room. So it blinds us. I look at your body and I go blind. That's deep.
Right.
That's deep. Oh, you got good insurance, huh?
Yeah.
So if I understand you correctly, you said that if I've desired something, it's already manifested?
Yes.
The only thing is, if it's different from the Course, the only exception is that, you know, if it's something that doesn't reflect the love, the unlimited love of God, then the best thing that you can do with that thing is have it exist temporarily.
Okay.
Okay? It's like, in other words, if you try to give yourself anything that's not pure love, it's built into the system that it won't last. Because you only desire what's real. So as soon as you choose something that's not real, then out of the love the universe has for you, it doesn't last. So a relationship that's not real love won't last because you're loved. You're loved so much that the universe wouldn't allow you to stay in something that's not loving for you.
Right.
But you'll call it, we broke up. That was a horrible thing that happened. Now I don't understand how that could have ever happened. And the truth is, you weren't allowing real love to come through it, or you had learned as much as you could with each other at that time. And so now you need to go on to another teacher. And so when you try to prolong that process, when you should be going on to another teacher, the way you can tell is increased pain and disappointment. That's your clue that you're sticking around longer than you should. But if you really want to suffer, you just dig your heels in more. And then think of all the reasons why you should stay in it.
Well, that's why I'm confused, because I was hearing love more. Like if you're disappointed in somebody or you're fearing them, love them more.
Yeah, that means you get out of the way more.
Yeah.
You take the opportunities to pray. You apply the truth to yourself.
Got it.
Okay, yeah, it's a great question. I'm glad you said that. Because we still have a tendency to think love is something we source.
Right.
So I'm going to love you more.
Right.
You know, it's like, no, I'm going to get out of the way more.
Okay.
I'm going to remove the blocks and have the blocks removed to love coming through
Right.
me for you. Nobody should ever have to make love. Nobody should ever have to try love, get love. You know, all those terms like make love, that's telling yourself at the very beginning that it's going to be temporary. That it's not going to last that long because y'all going to make love. And anything that's made has no permanence. So you're gonna say, let's let some love tonight together.
Right.
You know, let's let some love tonight together. Let's allow some love tonight together. Not just make love. It means allow some love.
Okay.
Judy, you allow some love, girl. All right.
She's in.
See, what happened is if you allow some love, then the next stage is you will be allowing some
Yes.
Really?
You need to get loud sometimes. You need to get, especially if you're a quiet person, especially if you're making love, get loud. Get, you know, be on the verge of the neighbors calling the police. Get loud. Express your love. Express your passion. The ones you've decided that it's innocent for you to do so. Do all your pondering. Do all your pondering before you make the decision. But once you make a decision, completely surrender yourself to the decision you made wholeheartedly.
Right.
Do all of your assessment beforehand. But the once you go, I love you, for instance, or I'm allowing love you, or whatever it is, then don't you dare hold back. You better show up 100%. And if you do, and it's not real, it will be revealed immediately, and you will not be wasting a lot of time with that person.
Definitely.
The only reason why people can fool you is you're holding back your love.
Right.
No one who's fully loving can be deceived. Only someone who's not can be fooled.
Yeah, that's true.
You can fool a person that's not loving all day long.
Right.
But you can't fool anybody that's loving.
Right.
You can't fool them. They're beyond deception. They can see straight through you like an X-ray machine.
Right.
And what's really sneak about them is they won't do one single thing to hurt you. You'll never know how much they're seeing through your bull. You would never know it, but they just know what to avoid and what to move toward. That's all you want to know anyway. You just want to be aware. I don't want to hurt you. I just want to be aware of you. So I'm not going to take something I learned about you and use it to attack you or hurt you, because if I do that, the universe will stop providing me with the information that I need about everybody that keeps me aware and that keeps me peaceful, because I already know what I can do with you.
Recognize that
But if
go
you
the
get,
other way.
yeah, but I'm saying that the universe will literally give you whatever communicate. It could be, I mean, it could take the form of somebody thinking they sending the email to somebody else, and they really send it to you by accident. And it's stuff you need to know about what they're thinking about you.
Right.
Okay, but if you're a conscious person, you realize the universe was just making you aware of something you needed to be aware of, so you wouldn't take that information and try to use it against that person. You would just use that information to stay aware of that person.
Right. Right.
And the
That's
universe
good.
will keep providing you with information. But if I took the information and went, I'm gonna go cuss them out and I'm gonna go off on them and I'm gonna hate them, then that's opposite to the goal. So the information would stop flowing to me, and I would be the last one to know what was going on around me. So if I knew something about you that seemed like it wasn't loving toward me, you would never know it. You would know it by the way I treated you. You wouldn't know it by the way I talked to you. There would be nothing in me that you would see any different, but I'm aware. Because that's all I want. I just want to be aware.
I like that word.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that great? It's like a non-judgmental word. You know, I just want to be aware of you. That's not negative. That's not positive. I just want to be aware of what's going on. Informed. And since you're just like me, you are also inconsistent because you're also growing and you're trying to do the best you can, then it can help me be forgiving towards you because you're not consistent all the time and I'm not either.
So what do you think of the concept I've heard this morning at a Bible church where they said the first step to forgiveness is betrayal?
Well, I think that appeals to those who need to believe that that's true in order to get them to forgive.
That you've been betrayed.
Well, I'm just saying that whatever those people that were there hearing that, in my perception of it, no matter what it meant, they were there because they needed to hear it. That somehow or another that was still serving them, even if I don't understand why.
Okay.
Because if I don't know what this moment is for, I certainly don't know what the moment is for them either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about accepting the truth for yourself. You immediately start applying it to everybody. Yeah. And then so every moment becomes more revitalized, and you end up taking action when it can really make a difference. And then all of a sudden you start receiving these rewards. And I tell you what the rewards are like. It's like somebody telling you what to do and then doing it for you.
Oh, that's good.
I think it's like, I'm going to tell you what to do, but I'm going to do it for you. I want you to be more loving, but I'm going to be more loving for you. Right. And I want you to ask for your presents and your gifts, but I'm going to ask for them for you. I believe you deserve it more than you believe you deserve it, so let me go ahead and ask for it for you, and then I'll give it to you whether you think you deserve it or not, because I know you do. Now, you're going to have a hard time with that concept because from your perspective, you look like things are coming to you that you don't deserve, so you'll be resisting it, but I'm going to consistently give it to you until you see it as natural for you to receive everything that makes you happy, so that you'll see it as ordinary and you'll stop blocking it because you think it's an ordinary thing for you to have your life go really cool.
All right.
So you'll get to the point that harmony and peace is natural to you, and you no longer see that as special because you've readied yourself to receive your reward by telling yourself you're going to be honest and admit you don't really know what this moment is for. And that you're going to take this opportunity to free yourself from any problem that you think you have by giving it to your higher self, God, as a sign that you're willing to receive your reward. Wow. And if you're inconsistent, give yourself a break, because right now you're sincerely changing, which means you're giving yourself mixed messages. Don't be upset with other people who seem to be giving you mixed messages, because they're just mirroring back to you the fact that you are doing that right now, because you are changing and you're the one that's inconsistent, and they're just reflecting your inconsistency back at you. So if you really want to be able to go through your inconsistency and still feel innocent and not be so hard on yourself, you're going to have to do that with other people's inconsistencies. That's the only way you're going to feel innocent about your own.
Wow.
Then you can receive your reward.
I would love to hear you say a prayer, just to hear the words that you go through from what you just...
My prayer is pretty simple, because the Course in Miracles gave me a really good prayer. I like simple. And so the prayer from the Course that I use is I ask to be able to recognize what I've already received.
Yeah.
He said the most powerful prayer you can do is to ask to be able to recognize what you already have. Because when you're asking for what you already have, you're guaranteed to receive it.
Gratitude.
Yeah, you already have gratitude. You already have acknowledgement. You already have love. You already have support. It's all around you. Why are you unhappy? Because you don't recognize it.
Right.
You don't recognize the people that's here trying to love you. You don't recognize the opportunities that are all around you. Just because you don't see them doesn't mean they don't exist. So what you're being asked to do, Raj, is to ask to be able to recognize what you have already received. So we'll get the answer. We'll ask, how did I get all my prayers answered? And then it's like Spirit will answer us. And then I would still be tempted to walk away from a class or other group and say, I didn't really get the answer. And the truth is, the whole time all I was doing was hearing the answer. But it was so much easier and simpler than the way I made it up that I couldn't even hear it. Do you know how strong you'd have to be to hear the simplicity of the things that I just said today? Do you have any idea how powerful you would have to be to accept the simple ways that you could be happy that's just been given us today? You have to be a person that's really had it, reached your limit, and you're ready for your life to be joyful again. Because the Course in Miracles says, Spirit is smart enough to only want those that want to do something. That's the only ones that ask. If he was gonna ask, it's like if I want you to do something for me, I'm gonna make it easy for you, and it's gonna be something you want to do. That's how I will get it done. See, that's how love works. I'm looking for who wants to do it and who's able to do it easily with no sense of sacrifice, so much so that it's as natural to them as open your eyes in the morning after you've been asleep all night. That's how easy your life is supposed to be. Just you being who you are is taking care of everything that needs to be taken care of, period. You have to be innocent to accept that kind of love and freedom. That you all right? That you're not broke? That you don't need to be fixed? You just need to have a little vision correction? That's all. Just slight little different angle on the way you're looking at it is the only thing that's needed because you're whole and complete and there's nothing missing in you and you're not broke. So you're not here to get fixed. You're here to remember.
Yeah.
You're here to remember how beautiful you are. How supported you are. And every part of you and me that don't believe we deserve it is freaking out.
Yes.
No, that's not true. No, it's a cult. Where's the Kool-Aid? I know it is. Because he said, I deserve to be loved. He said that I'm supported. He's got to be a witch doctor.
Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah.
Bang, walla bing bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting tang, walla walla bing bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting tang, walla walla bing bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting tang, walla walla bing bang. Now y'all have no idea what was just done to y'all.
But it feels good.
You're gonna love yourself more, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're gonna think you deserve happiness more than anybody else. And people who need drama, I'm gonna tell you, the people who need drama, they're gonna drop you. I'm just gonna warn you right now. People who are high maintenance, and people who like a whole lot of drama, they are gonna try to get away from you as fast as they possibly can. If you can't, and no matter how hard you try to hang on to them, you won't be able to hang on to them because they need somebody who's gonna help them continue to have their drama that they haven't gotten through with yet. So people who would hurt you, I don't know how to break this to you, they'll stop coming around you. People who don't appreciate you, they won't want to be with you. And unless you're crazy enough to try to get them back, they'll be gone. And they'll be replaced with who meets where you are now while you can still bless them where they are because they're going to eventually come to the realization that they're loved too. But that don't mean you have to wait around for them.
Yes.
That you don't have to wait around?
You don't have to wait, no. Don't. As a matter of fact, you owe it to them to not wait around for them. But also to welcome them with open arms at the point they're willing to be sane and loving with you. See what I'm saying? Because you don't have to worry about putting anybody out of your life once you start wanting to be more loving. I'm telling you, you won't have to put anybody. You might do it, but you don't have to. In most cases, they just leave of their own accord without any kind of arguments, and then you just notice they're not around anymore. All of a sudden you notice you're not hearing from that person anymore. And sometimes you'll be the main one trying to keep the relationship going. And they won't want to keep it going with you anymore because you're not fulfilling the role that they needed you to fulfill in their experience anymore. And that's okay. But it's important to remember that everything evolves in a sense. So every relationship, you will see it more and more as a step up and even more of a blessing every time. So it won't be like, you won't be looking back because what's right before you will be so beautiful that the past just drops away from your mind just because the present is so full. The present is so full you don't even have to think about it.
How do you do it when it's family, when you're forced into those relationships?
The rules are never different because of the form. It's still always you're being willing to recognize you don't know what the moment is for with your family, to take your agenda off your family, to be willing to take an opportunity to let go of the fear and the guilt and the resistance that you have in your own mind, because any problem you're having with your family is only coming from the thoughts, feelings, emotions, and beliefs that you have about them in your mind. So they will miraculously shift, or it won't matter. Either way, it's a winner. They can stay exactly the way they are, and you will find yourself completely unaffected and peaceful, or they might miraculously look like they shifted on you and kind of freak you out. But any way it goes, you're cool.
Okay.
All right? Because you just got ready for your reward. So let's give it up again. Let's give it up for us. All right. thank you for sharing with me. I teach full time on a love offering basis, so I appreciate your sharing in the love offering. I really do. And I'm available for one-on-ones called clarity sessions. That's right, practice the truth. Did you hear me today? Called clarity sessions, and these yellow forms up front describe what they are, or you can go to my website at earlpurdy.com. And basically what it is taking everything that I've studied, and if a person is open to it, even astrology and numerology, and apply it to what you think you're going through now so that you can get some insight into what actions you can take in this moment that would really make a difference. And help you get rid of any of the blocks you have to let your reward in. Okay. Okay, now. That's what I love about
Some elevator music. Yeah.
Would you take a breath right now? You're going to be inconsistent. You called on the voice for God to help you. Because you wanted peace, you called for help. You know you have. The conflict that you are going through is insane. The conflict that you're going through is insane. The lessons that you receive from the Holy Spirit, which is your sane mind, the lessons that come from your sane mind are not insane. Messages and lessons that come to you from love, messages that come to you from God, lessons that come to you from the Creator, they don't frighten you. God would never send you a lesson that frightened you. Love won't make you feel guilty. Love won't make you feel ashamed. No message from God would make you feel guilty. No message from God would make you feel ashamed. Whenever love teaches you, whenever the truth in you is teaching you, whenever the Holy Spirit in you is teaching you, you don't feel guilty about what you are lying about. You stop feeling guilty about what you are lying about, and therefore you stop lying. You don't stop lying until you don't feel guilty about lying. You know that whatever it is, doesn't ultimately change love. You know that no matter what you think or fear or feel will ultimately change what's real. In other words, whatever you're lying about, whatever you're deceiving yourself about, has no effect on the eternal truth. No matter what you're lying to yourself about, no matter what you're angry about, no matter what you're condemning yourself about, it doesn't ultimately change what's real in you. In other words, whatever you're lying about has no effect on the eternal truth. Breathe through the resistance. Breathe through the resistance. Breathe through the resistance. Breathe through the resistance. Yes. Breathe through the resistance. Breathe through the resistance. Breathe through the resistance. I do not know what anything is for. 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 Breathe through the resistance. Breathe through the resistance. Everything is for my own best interest. 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 And I do not know what anything is for, and everything is for my own best interest. I do not know what anything is for. Everything is for my own best interest. I do not know what anything is for. I'm ready for my reward. I am ready for my reward. I accept my reward. I accept my reward. I accept my reward. I accept my reward. I love y'all. Thanks for coming today. Try not to analyze it.
That's the problem.
Those are available.
I kind of believe it.